why don't these problems change at the IMF itself? Why does the IMF keep acting this way when it knows that this is against the purposes it was supposed to be fulfilling? The answer is that voting at the IMF is very, very skewed and very tilted in favor of the richest countries, because countries paid in their quota according to how wealthy they were. So what that means is that the top 5 countries are the USA, Japan, Germany, France, and the UK, although China is kind of coming into this now and is now number 3 at the World Bank, so we can expect that more in future. But the point remains that these will always be the richest countries, the countries that are lending money, and their votes are in proportion to how much money they've contributed to the IMF and the World Bank. And they don't want to see that those loans that they're making be defaulted on, right? So there's a lot of large banks that are also based in those countries, and those are the constituents really of the government. So they also don't want to. They're very, very wary of seeing loan defaults, and also officials at the IMF or at the World Bank are also under pressure to make sure that their programs don't fail. So for them, they'd kind of rather keep going with this program, even though it's becoming more and more obvious that it doesn't work in all cases, because they're so heavily invested in making it work. And unfortunately, the countries that are the borrower countries don't have enough clout to change anything at the IMF or the World Bank, because the United States and Europe together own so many of the votes, about 30 plus, maybe even 37% of the votes at in some configurations. They can actually veto basically anything at all happening. So that's why things don't change at the IMF itself.